Let's jump right into this explainer because we are looking at a massive, fundamental shift in what it actually means to own and, crucially, to repair the things we buy. For decades, the deal was beautifully simple, right? You hand over your cash, you take the product home, and boom, it's yours. The end. But today? Well, the digital revolution has completely rewritten the rulebook. We are now navigating this really tricky landscape where the line between buying a physical object and just renting a digital license has gotten incredibly blurry.
So, do you actually own what you just bought? I mean, it sounds like a ridiculously simple question, but when you really peek behind the curtain of the modern digital economy, the answer is surprisingly complicated. You might have just paid full price for a brand new smartphone, a digital movie, or maybe even a car. But legally speaking, you probably just bought a temporary permission slip to use the software embedded inside it. And that little detail in the fine print, it totally changes what you're legally allowed to do with your own property, especially when it inevitably breaks.
And wow, if you want to understand the stakes, just look at this number, $3 billion. That is the estimated annual cost hitting farmers right now, caused specifically by restrictions on repairing their own equipment. Think about that. When you literally can't fix the property you paid for, you're stuck paying a massive premium to the manufacturer. This isn't just some abstract philosophical debate about digital rights. No, this is a heavy, real-world financial burden sitting squarely on the shoulders of consumers and independent businesses.
Moving on to Section 1, the physical illusion, the John Deere crisis.
To really wrap our heads around this shift, let's look at massive agricultural tractors. Now, you probably don't associate heavy farm equipment with digital software rights, right? But it is currently ground zero for the battle over ownership and the right to repair. So, picture this. Step 1. You buy a tractor for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Eventually, a physical part breaks down. Step 2. You or a local independent mechanic try to swap out that broken part. But then Step 3 hits. An embedded software lock triggers because the machine literally doesn't recognize the digital signature of the new part. Which brings us to Step 4. That expensive tractor remains completely paralyzed, just a giant paperweight, until you're forced to pay the manufacturer's authorized dealer to come out, plug in a laptop, and authorize the repair.
What's really fascinating and frankly frustrating is how companies like John Deere use this invisible digital ecosystem to essentially monopolize the repair process. We're talking about proprietary diagnostic tools like their Service Advisor, closed ordering systems, and those embedded software locks. Basically, even if you are totally capable of turning a wrench and replacing a belt or a sensor yourself, this digital wall guarantees that you cannot finish the job without their explicit and usually very expensive digital blessing.
Let's get into Section 2, the legal loophole. First sale versus ULAs.
Okay, so historically, physical goods were protected by a great cornerstone of copyright law called the first sale doctrine. Basically, this meant that once you bought a physical item, whether it was a book, a CD, or a car, the manufacturer's control over that specific item was totally exhausted. It was yours. You owned that specific copy. You could resell it, lend it out to a friend, or, most importantly for us today, take it apart and fix it however you saw fit.
But as software started getting stuffed into basically everything we own, from tractors to smart appliances, manufacturers found a really clever loophole. They pivoted. Instead of selling you a product covered by the first sale doctrine, they merely started licensing you the software inside that product. And they do this through end-user license agreements, or EULAs. Under EULAs, ownership never actually transfers to you. You are just a temporary licensee, completely bound by whatever rules the company decides to bury in that contract. And spoiler alert, those rules almost always include huge restrictions on your ability to repair or modify your stuff.
Just look at this academic journal excerpt. These unilateral EULAs are essentially massive walls of dense legal jargon designed to strip away consumer autonomy. I mean, be honest, when was the last time you actually read a full terms and conditions page before clicking I accept? Manufacturers know we don't read them, and that creates this wild imbalance of power, completely altering your rights with zero room for negotiation. You're routinely agreeing to give up your fundamental right to repair, often without even realizing it.
Which brings us to Section 3, the digital ecosystem. Everything is a license.
That invisible string tying your product back to the corporate mothership? It affects almost everything we interact with daily in our modern digital ecosystem. Take the gaming world, for example. Ubisoft recently shut down servers for a game called The Crew and literally revoked the licenses, just deleting the product from players' hardware. Gone. Or Sony, who faced huge backlash for deleting over 550 Studio Canal movies from users' digital libraries, movies those people had already paid for.
Or how about publishers like Blizzard updating their EULAs to force mandatory arbitration? If you don't agree to sign away your legal rights, you lose access to a $70 game you already bought. Increasingly, you are treated as a temporary renter whose access can be yanked away at any moment.
And if you want a truly jarring example, look at what happened when the smart car company WM Motor went bankrupt. When the servers went dark, owners found that their cars basically turned into useless bricks. They lost their Bluetooth keys, remote functions, all those fancy, smart capabilities. It perfectly demonstrates how physical property becomes entirely useless the second the digital service tied to it dies. Your ability to simply use, maintain, and repair your physical property is entirely at the mercy of a software server halfway across the globe.
Let's turn to Section 4, the cost and the fight back.
The economics of this setup are just undeniable. When manufacturers use laws like the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and embedded software locks to shut out independent repair shops, the folks who typically charge a reasonable rate, like $75 an hour, they completely eliminate the competition. And who pays the absolute burden of that monopoly pricing? You, the consumer. You're forced to wait for an authorized dealer, pay whatever rate they demand, and deal with forced downtime simply because you legally and technologically cannot fix your own property.
But thankfully, it's not all doom and gloom. We are actually seeing a major legislative counterattack to protect your ability to repair what you own. The FTC is currently investigating antitrust claims over these exact restrictive practices. At the state level, Colorado recently passed a landmark 2024 law that legally forces agricultural equipment manufacturers to provide diagnostic tools and software to farmers and independent repair shops. And over in California, AB 2624 is taking direct aim at digital storefronts. It legally forces them to stop using deceptive words like buy or purchase, when in reality, they're only selling you a revocable temporary license.
This quote from researchers really hits the nail on the head regarding the core tension of the digital age. As long as rights holders continue to chant the mantra, "It's a license, not a sale," the result will come true, and all costs are borne by consumers. It is perfectly stated. The incredible convenience of modern tech, streaming, cloud access, smart devices, is currently in a head-on collision with your fundamental right to control and repair your own stuff. If we just accept that everything is a license, consumers will bear all the costs, while the corporations hold a permanent, very profitable monopoly over repair and access. So, as we navigate this wild new era of digital ownership, remember that the right to repair isn't just about fixing a cracked screen or a busted tractor engine. It is really about preserving the very nature of ownership itself. So, the next time you're online or in a store about to click buy on a major purchase, take a second, read the fine print, ask yourself, are you actually purchasing a product that you have the right to control and repair, or are you just renting permission to use it until the manufacturer decides otherwise? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and definitely keep questioning what you actually own.